What is happening, party people? Dirty D's out here in the office today. I'm pretty excited because I was able on April 28th to attend a conference call for Harley Davidson investors. This is their quarterly earnings conference call. The great news is I'm going to put a link down here in the description where you can listen to it yourself. I'm going to go through some of the main points. I'm not going to bore you with all the financial details. Here's the only financial number I'm going to give you. The one that really matters is that worldwide motorcycle sales are down 17.7%. International sales are down 20%. Now, this is taking the first 3 months of 2020 compared to the first 3 months of 2019. All right, so basically, they're losing money. We all knew that. It wasn't a surprise to anybody. Let me go ahead and jump into some of the bullet points here. First of all, their top leader, Jochen. He starts off the call talking about how they have worked hand in hand with United Way to help with some charities around this vid-19 thing. Props to them. It was a great way to start off the call. It was all downhill from there. No, I'm joking. There's some good things in here. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with their plan to save $250 million this year. But things aren't always what they seem, because I did a little more digging into this area, and what I found out was it looks good on paper, but they're actually voting to give themselves a pay increase in May. Check it. So here's how they're going to save the $250 million, and I have the transcript right here. CEO and the board of directors will forego salary and cash compensation. Give you some more news on that. 30% reduction for executive leadership in their pay. 10 to 20% reduction for most other salaried employees in the United States. Damn, 10 to 20%. No merit increase for 2020. And they're implementing a hiring freeze. Okay. They say that they're going to take a pay cut at the executive level. Then please tell me why in May they are having a board meeting where they are voting on their pay. And I quote, now this wasn't in the transcript and this wasn't in their call, obviously. But the quote says, and I'm going to put it up here, they want to reward for exceptional performance with higher pay outcomes to their executive leaders. Higher pay outcomes. All right. I love what they put on the ballot itself. They say, our board recommends that you vote unanimously for that proposal. Isn't that something? Of course, they recommend that you vote for that proposal. Man, oh man, I'll tell you what, things just get deeper and deeper. But anyway, okay, so maybe on the surface they're going to save all that money, $250 million. All right, props to you for that. Here's something interesting that they brought up as well. This will be of use for some of you Harley Davidson owners. If you finance through HDFS, Harley Davidson Financial Services, they are offering Harley owners the option to extend their payments or postpone some of their payments for their motorcycles because, look, they want to keep people in their bikes. This also goes, by the way, in a little side note, if you're having problems paying your mortgage as well, maybe your company got shut down or you're making less money or maybe you got laid off, I can tell you for a fact that Wells Fargo, for example, if you have a home mortgage, they're giving you 3 months that you don't have to pay your mortgage, which is great for people who need it. Maybe even for some people who don't. I don't know, man. You make your determination. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, but let's say that you have a $1,500 mortgage. In 3 months, you're going to save $4,500. Up to you, man. I'm not a financial advisor. But anyway, those programs are out there. If you did finance through Harley Davidson Financial Services and you need this help, I suggest giving them a call. I'm going to put their phone number down here where you can just pause the video, give them a call, write it down. I don't know what you got to do, but there are programs out there to help you out. So don't be too stressed out. I know it's a tough time, but we're going to move on. All right, so here's the next point of business. Jochen comes on and he says that he has realized through talking to a lot of the people in the field, managers, employees, and other stakeholders, he's realized this. And of course, I'm going to read it off here because I don't want to mess it up. But he says, there's a high level of complexity across the organization that needs to be minimized. Okay? Here's an interesting point. Leadership has become isolated and overly centralized. The speed of decision making needs to increase. Okay, leadership has become isolated and centrally organized. I did a little bit more research to find out what exactly that means. I didn't want to mess it up in this video. Yeah, they've become isolated. Like I said in one of my videos, the board members have been stuck in the boardroom and not talking to the people who are using their products, not out in the field, not mixing it up, not amongst the people, man. Jochen validated that exact point. And when he says overly centralized, basically it means that too many people or too few people are holding too much power. And then nothing's getting done. There's nothing but gridlock going on. So they're going to involve more people in the decision-making process. that was cool. Props to them on that, man. All right, here's another one. They want to focus on their core strengths, prioritize the markets, products, and customers that matter, those that offer the most profit and potential. That's the US plus critical countries that can move the needle as much as possible today. Interesting point. However, when we talk about other countries, I went and looked something up, and this is what they put at the bottom of all of their investor pages. It's kind of that disclaimer that says, we might make some claims about how the future is going to play out, but don't hold us to it. But check this out. Who's this company? They talk about keeping options wide open with other companies in other countries. I'm going to do a video on this one that's going to get a little bit deeper. Keep your eyes open for this. But this company right here, a little fishy. They're out of China. We're going to get to the bottom of it. Give me some time. I'm going to be digging on that for you guys. All right, next, big news. Launch of the new bikes from now on are going to coincide with the motorcycle riding season. Nice. Yeah, why you start launching stuff in January just because it's the beginning of the year? I mean, who's really going to be buying those bikes up north? So they're going to coincide the launch of their new bikes with the motorcycle riding season. Good move. All right, so that's some big news. Here's another big piece of news that Yokon mentioned. I love this one, and it's got my wheels turning. And I'm going to give you some speculation on my part. He says this. He's going to put together a CEO roundtable comprised of select dealers and former Harley Davidson leaders. Who are those former Harley Davidson leaders that are going to be on this CEO roundtable? I'll tell you what, man, if he's smart, he's going to bring back Willie G. Willie G, man, is still kicking it. And I know for a fact that if they brought Willie G back and made a big splash and public announcement about bringing Willie G back, even on just a consultant basis, that would be huge in building the hearts back of the Harley Davidson owners, getting that enthusiasm back, getting more into the soul of what Harley Davidson is. Basically, it's going to buy him a lot of street cred and a lot of clout with people that own Harleys and that are into Harleys. I don't know if that's exactly what he means, but they started to do a series about Willie G. So could it be that they're drumming up all this interest in Willie G because they know that they're going to bring him back and then make a big splash about the fact that he's back in the boardroom? I don't know, but that's my speculation. Who else are going to be the former Harley Davidson leaders? All those dudes got canned. Speaking of, in one of my recent videos I mentioned that there was somebody on the board who had been there since 1997 and that she was part of the problem. Guess what? That was their chief operating officer, and she did get canned shortly after I released that video. Now, I'm not saying that anybody at Harley Davidson was watching that video, but if you go back and look at it, it's got a good amount of views, and I would think that somehow, some way, that video got to somebody who works for Harley. Maybe not at the executive level, but hey, look, I'm gonna get back into the news that you can't use. Just kidding, you can use all this news. He says this: we will rally around our newly stated mission. So they have a new mission statement. Harley's new mission statement is this: more than building machines, we stand for the timeless pursuit of adventure, freedom for the soul. Okay, I can dig that. And here's another thing that you learn on the call. They state that 50% of their sales floors have closed temporarily because of COVID-19. Later on in the Q&A session, the question and answer session that happens around minute 25, you find out that that number is actually 60%, not 50%. That's massive. However, I will tell you this, a lot of those dealerships are starting to open back up with everything else opening up. Am I gonna rush in there and start jumping all over motorcycles and touching all the merch? Hell no. It's gonna take me another 15 to 20 days before I go anywhere, man. I'm still on self-quarantine lockdown, except for riding them motorcycles. And speaking of, I wanna wish everybody out there a fantastic weekend, incredible weekend. If you wanna see some cool videos, man, tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and put out another one this weekend just for the hell of it. It's gonna be a little bit of a surprise, but it's gonna be a good time. You people out there, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you. The channel's been growing by leaps and bounds. Thank you to everybody who has signed up to watch the remainder of these series. And when I say the remainder of the series, we ain't going nowhere, man. We're sticking around for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. I cannot tell you how long it will be. However, I know that one day I'll be a really old man still making these videos and look back at this one and say, damn, I used to have a pretty sweet beard. Yeah. All right, everybody, I wish you all the best. See you out there in the mother humming streets. Peace out. Stay safe. Stay healthy if you want to. I'm not here to tell you what to do, man. You live your life. I'm going to go out and live mine. Get right back on the bike. Peace out, folks.